ZG, you can find him on Twitter at ZG the Grapevine. He passes out a whole bunch of picks and things out on there. He's really great at it. He's been on an absolute heater here recently. I think he's just going to call in to make things a little bit easier. So when he finally connects, we're going to get into the Pacers going forward. We're to probably talk a little bit about the Mavs and the Timberwolves as well. I know he's got plenty of bets on that. ZG, you there?
We tried it.
We almost had it. We were close.
Yeah, it's probably my phone.
It's all good. It's all right. How are you? How's it going?
We're good, man. It's a good day. It's Friday, long weekend. Ready to talk some basketball.
Dude, me too. I just finished talking about the 500, which is a term pretty loosely. I don't know if I really talked about it. I'm more of just questioned why people go, but I don't know. For my new listeners out there, this is my guy Zack Gray, the best sports gambler alive. He's literally never missed a pick. He's never missed.
True.
It's true. So let's start with the Pacers and the Celtics. Thoughts on this series so far? I think I know what you're going to say, but what are your thoughts so far through the first two games of that series?
Just very deflating after game one. You probably weren't going to win the series, but if you win that game, you at least put yourself in a spot. I mean, this series is over now. Like, I think we all can kind of see the writing on the wall.
I don't know if it's over, man. Like, I think that this is the way people felt after the Knicks went up 2-0. The difference obviously being, like, if Halliburton is legitimately hurt and he doesn't play going forward, then it's over. But if it's literally just sore and, they put some heat and stem on that thing and he's fine for game 3 and 4, then I don't know, like, winning at Gainbridge Fieldhouse is tough. I think so much of the series is over idea is dependent upon how healthy Halliburton is, but we'll see.
I think the big thing here, Jay Smith, is that when we felt this way with the Knicks, we kind of didn't see the wear and tear that we were going to see later on in the series. They got reinforcements coming. Like, Kristaps may be available to play. They're well rested. Like, we're not going to see any of that fatigue and lag hit the Celtics like it hit the Knicks.
That is a very valid point. What do you think is the Pacers' ultimate issue in this series?
I just don't think they're ready for it. I think they're a team that hasn't really, been in this spot before, and the Celtics have been in this spot for years. So, it's going to take a lot for a team to beat the Celtics, like a veteran-led Spoelstra, last year, like a Warriors and, a couple years ago in the finals. Like, this Celtics team is no joke. And when they're playing someone that hasn't been there before, they seem to kind of dominate them very quickly.
They do. And I think from just like a play scenario, I think the Pacers are one wing defender away from being able to actually compete in this series. I was watching First Take this morning. I don't know why. I guess I just like to make myself feel really smart before I go on the air. So I watch First Take. And they were like, someone came on and they're like, Jalen Brunson's the best player for the Celtics. And I just don't think that's true. I think Aaron Nesmith's just done a good job on Tatum, and the Pacers don't have anyone left. Like, they don't have any wings left that can actually play defense.
Yeah, this is also not a complete Celtics team, and this is what's happening. 2-0 series lead with an incomplete team. So, like, I know I love the Pacers, but I just don't know. That game one was very deflating. I have been sulking all the last couple of days because of it, even though I'm repping the hat. I don't know. You probably saw that for a second.
I did. So, okay, let's go hypothetical here. If Halliburton comes back and he's healthy and the Pacers win game 3 and game 4, do you feel any different?
Yes. I just don't think that's going to happen. But yes, obviously, I would say throw this tape away if that happened. I would say burn this. This show never happened, but I don't think that's reality.
I don't know, man. Like, the Pacers are really good at home. And like, young teams play better at home. I don't know, man. Like, I haven't seen them lose at home since March 18th. Like, right? Like, we're going back 2 months. So the idea of them losing in Gainbridge, especially if Halliburton's healthy, like, I don't Like that feels a little far-fetched for me, especially since like when you're down 2-0, and once again, I'm joined by my guy, Zack Gray. Find him on Twitter at ZG the Grapevine. He's passing out nothing but winning bets. Like when you're down 2-0, you just subconsciously play harder. And when you're up 2-0, you just subconsciously don't. So if Halliburton's back, I like the Pacers to win game 3. And then who knows what happens in game 4.
Yeah, I think that the Pacers definitely get one of these 2 games for sure. I can see this ending in 5 or 6, but I don't think there's going to be any legitimate threat that the Pacers win the series. I don't think they'll even the series up. But yeah, I'm very negative today, Jay Smith. So I'm sorry about that.
Well, I'm going to try and flip that. I'm going to see if I can get you excited for me. So I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm holding a Dallas Mavericks to win the NBA Finals ticket at plus 2,400. And I feel really good about it. I know we've only seen one game in that series. Game 2 is, of course, going to be played tonight at 8:30. I'm locked into that one. Can't wait for it. What are your thoughts on that series, and what do you think are my chances of me cashing in on this Dallas Mavericks plus 2,400 to win the NBA Finals ticket?
Yeah, I think this series goes 7. I had the Mavs in game 1. We cashed that. Tonight, I'm actually going with the Wolves with the points minus 5.5. I think they come back strong at home. I think this one's going 7, Jay Smith. But, if you get past this one, if you get past this series, I would be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, look, I was texting our mutual friend. I have not introduced the audience to this guy yet, but I was talking with T-Lang yesterday. And I was just like, dude, I'm taking the Mavs because they have the best player left. And you can make an argument that Kyrie's the best 2 left. It's probably Jaylen Brown, but I think you could argue for Kyrie just because he's been awesome. Everybody's on the Wolves tonight. And I don't know, man. Like the Mavs didn't play well in game 1. I think that's why I feel so good about it, right? Like Kyrie only scored 6 points in the second half. Luka didn't play very well in the first half. The Mavericks only shot 24% from 3. The Timberwolves outscored the Mavs by 36 from behind the 3-point line, and they still lost. If we did a percentage thing, what are the chances that the Mavs cover tonight, and what are the chances that they win tonight?
So first off, I think this is kind of like a parallel to the Celtics Pacers series. Like everybody was like, oh, the Pacers shot themselves in the foot. They didn't even play well. They should, and I think, even though the Mavs won, that's kind of what you're doing. And I think that we see the Wolves kind of straighten up. Ants had 2 bad games. I think the chances of Dallas covering are, probably 50-50, and I don't think they win tonight.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. You brought up Ant, and you said that Anthony Edwards. I got ripped the other day because I kept calling Anthony Edwards Ant, and I kept calling Carl Anthony Towns Cat. So I'm trying to be better on that front. Anthony
What's
Edwards.
wrong with that?
I just, like some people who don't watch the Wolves, like they don't know who Ant is, and so like I need to say the name, all that kind of stuff. It's important. So Anthony Edwards has been like people just fawn over him, and like rightfully so. But can we shed just like a little bit more light on how, like he didn't play well in game 7 offensively against the Nuggets. In 4 of his last 6 playoff games, he hasn't scored 20 points. Like I get that he's fun and he's exciting and his interviews are good, but people have really kind of ripped Halliburton when he hasn't shown up. Can we just do the same thing for Ant? I'm asking.
You're talking to the right guy, because I have been late to the party with Anthony Edwards. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth having a conversation about. I don't know what it is, what we decide to do and who we decide to defend, but he just seems like he's built up so much good faith in his short career that it's going to take a lot for the masses and people with an opinion to kind of turn on him. If they keep winning, he's going to be the reason, whether he's the reason or not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Once again, joined by my guy, Zack Gray of ZG the Grapevine on Twitter. He has a Patreon there where you can find all of his gambling picks. He's never missed a pick, so I'm nervous because he's got the Timberwolves plus 5.5 tonight. This series is so interesting because Coming into the series, I picked the Mavs in 6. I know you said that you thought that the series would go 7. Do you have the Mavs or the Wolves in 7?
Mavs in 7.
Okay. So my thought process was the Timberwolves are clearly built to beat the Nuggets, which is like, I don't think that's not a bad way to build a team because the Nuggets are really good. But like, they are not built to beat Dallas. Like, the Mavs kind of tore up the drop coverage stuff. I don't want to get overly X's and O's here, but the way that the Timberwolves play defense is very beneficial for Kyrie and Luka. And that is ultimately why I picked the Mavs to win the series. Was that kind of your thought process? I also think that there's like teams that have been there before when you get this late in the playoffs also tend to win. That's why I picked Boston. It's another reason why I picked Dallas. They played in, the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. So why did you pick the Mavs?
I just trust Luka and Kyrie when the chips are down. I trust Ant too for the most part, but I don't, we were texting the other day. I was texting a couple buddies. I just can't get behind Karl Anthony Towns consistently. I just don't think there's enough there when the chips are down to overthrow a Kyrie and a Luka. Like, we've seen them time and time again. We saw it in game 1, close game, and then Luka gets whatever shot he wants. Kyrie gets whatever shot he wants. Ant can do that, but there's 2 of them on the other side. So that was kind of my thought process. I think it's going to be close the whole way through. And then we see the 2 best players in the series on the same team kind of get it done.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story for the Mavericks throughout the season, right? Like, they close games better than anyone because they have arguably the 2 best closers in the playoffs. And Kyrie Irving, who carried LeBron to that title way back in 2016, because he closed those games so well. We've seen him do it throughout the regular season. We know he's capable. And, we saw Luka, 15 points in the fourth quarter in game 1. And defensively, he's so much better. You said what?
I said Luka got whatever he wanted in the fourth quarter. And I want to touch on that defended lob that would have put Minnesota up 2, but Luka skied up and knocked it away. I tweeted about it. You said we'd talk about it, so I had to throw it in.
Oh, yeah, of course. Here's to still make this about the Pacers because I am in Indy. I think seeing Luka Doncic develop into a very good, like not average, but a very good defender should give Pacers fans confidence that Tyrese Halliburton can turn into at least a decent defender. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Tyrese Halliburton has a little more physical. He's his body type, the way he moves around, kind of is. I think it's more apt to defending than it is Luka. Luka's just kind of like built to score. I don't think he really has the body of a defender, other than his physicality. But I think, Halliburton's long arms, things like that, he should be able to develop into a solid defender. But then again, you can have the best frame in the world. Defense is all mindset. So you just got to make sure he's in that mode.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I called Halliburton a cone earlier because that's what he's been on defense in the first 2 games against Boston. He can't defend anybody, man. But so we've only got like a minute left here. So you've got the Wolves winning tonight, Mavs in 7 for that series. What do you have for the Pacers and Celtics series? Do the Pacers win game 3 tomorrow? Do the Celtics win in 5? Give me that here really quickly before we go.
Pacers lose game 3, win game 4, lose game 5, Celtics in 5.
Okay. There you go. Like, just write it down. It's bound to happen because it was spoken by Zack Gray. Follow him on Twitter at ZG the Grapevine. Dude, I love having you on. Okay. I need your work life to slow down so that we can keep doing this on Fridays, and hopefully we can get the live stream going this next week.
You and me both, bro. Thank you again, though.
Dude, always. That's my guy, Zack Gray. Follow him on Twitter at ZG the Grapevine. He posts nothing but winning picks over there. Just really smart when it comes to the gambling stuff. Between him and Sackman, when you listen to 1430, you're gonna make money. It's gonna happen. Thank you for tuning in. No show Monday, Memorial Day. I'm gonna hang out with my wife. I can't wait. She's finally done with school. She's a teacher, and she just deserves a full day of Jonathan after dealing with those 6th graders all year, So gonna hang out with her. Dan does not have a show on Monday either. I think he's going to play golf. So there you go. So I'll be back on Tuesday. New start time, 10 a.m. I'll be on from 10 a.m. to noon starting on Tuesday. Can't wait for that 2-hour-long live stream. All that's going to happen. Thank you again for tuning in. This has been the Real Jonathan Smith Show. I'll talk to you on Tuesday at 10 a.m.